Good morning. Valentine's Day. This is Zim. Okay. EGLE. Oh, I'm live. I gotta turn on. I was getting the damn. Anybody else notice MULN is moving? The biggest sham, but it's only 0.1%. It's not much. Let me pull up. I gotta turn the volume down, and then I go live over here. CPI in 15 minutes. New managing moderators can support your channel even in more ways. Oh. Look at that. I can appoint moderators. Huh. Hit the thumbs up button. Live chat. Put on my headphones just because it makes my hair look. I hop on here and I don't do squat. I roll out of bed. Honest to God, I just roll out of bed. So, let's see. We are going to I'm gonna move over to Active Trader Pro because I want to see. There is one. We made it yesterday. We talked about. I think it was this one yesterday. How it ran up. SQL. But let's see. We're gonna look at AMST. This boy's been up morning Dawson 100% in pre-market. This one's crazy. And what you're gonna see. Jason from TrendSpider. Yeah, he's gonna have a much better look at CPE. Here, let's go over Safari View. We'll go to YouTube. We'll go to Home. And we'll go to Live. And where is Jason? Where is he? Everybody's covering CPE. Did I pass him by? Let me see. KC, beginner trading, Soggy, TrendSpider. There we go. I keep him on mute, but yeah, he's got 100 people watching. Berkshire bought Tesla. Okay, one criticism I would have for Jason is get around self one. But God, look at his TrendSpider versus mine. My TrendSpider is not as pretty as his, but if you wanted to, by the way, buy Tesla, let me see. Are we in a buy on Tesla? You know what we are in a buy on? Cleveland Cliffs. Tesla's kind of got that just cross. Let's see. Let's look at SPY. SPY. I talked about that button hook, but yesterday both candles were above. Oh, is there? Let's see. Chart patterns. We have triangle ascending. I don't see new ones. And I did just update TrendSpider. But the triangles, the only one I have, oh, is that what he's going over? Let me see. Where is it?
Symbol view. Generally speaking, I keep spying the cues up in the top left corner here. I like to keep an eye on
Yeah,
these.
he's got. I mean,
I don't know how many of you guys are
Jason. By the way,
on
if
this
you want to
chart.
watch a day trader,
I like to keep an eye on at least
subscribe to him
Bitcoin and Ethereum as some day
here
traders.
on Twitter.
We got NVDA, got 2 votes for
He
NVDA.
is unlike some people. He does not BS and say, "Oh, I got into this a week ago." He is fantastic, and he's super. I mean, he posts his gains and reactions and everything. Yeah, I should probably tweet out that I'm live. But
think about if we've got room, okay, we'll throw up Solana. I like to keep it to 12 names just because 16 starts getting pretty small.
12 names. Ugh. I'll look for it later. I don't see it on mine, but Jason's great. I mean, Jason just if you watch, he goes on live every now and then at like 4 o'clock to review his trades. But I mean, he's so good. He's so good at understanding TrendSpider and charts and how to get what you want out of them and blah blah blah. Like this 16, there ain't no way. You know. Oh, I gotta go. Hold on. I gotta get the dog. Hey, Dawson, if other people ask questions, just tell them we're watching Jason right now. I'm going to get you. Don't worry. I'll get your bed. I'll get your bed. I'll get your bed. Here you go. There you are. Go on. Go on. Okay. You're both very happy now. Oh. Dogs needed their bed in here. I got it on mute. I figured I'd just yell at him while I'm live. Okay. But yeah, he's awesome. And he just woke up too. He's got the TrendSpider swag. I think that's even a TrendSpider mug. But yeah, okay. Let's go. I'm going to do some scans before we get to, we got 7 minutes. Scans. And I do have, if anybody logged on, there's been some, one Rohan posted in the private Facebook group. I'll respond to messages after I record. I got a bunch of messages to reply to. I did want to, and I'm just logging on, so I'm going to kind of look at my own portfolio to kind of see. Amazon, I need to get that under 100. But see, it's just capitulating right around that 200 day. Let me make sure my screen is okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm in the upper right. God, yeah, it's just capitulating. Boeing, I got in. If you didn't get into Boeing yesterday, I got in. Weekly Stock Pick said he got in at 213. I got in at 215. It's trading at 216, which is good. Bank of America, kind of capitulating there. My guess is the floor is about 34. Cleveland Cliffs, like I said, Cleveland Cliffs under 20, but it doesn't have confirmation. But it is trading at, it closed at 2011. It's trading at 1931. Costco, it's not under 500, but God, 458. I was waiting for 450. I think we got to, low 447. Should have bought. I mean, you still have this gap down here, so it's coming down. Patience. Devon Energy, a buy right before earnings. Come on. How are you passing up Devon at 63? I mean, they're going to up the dividend. I don't know. That's one that to me is kind of common sense. Google got you out right here with 7%. It's just kind of putting in capitulation. Bollinger Band is kind of breaking out on the bottom there. Let me look at the weekly on Google. The weekly candle's still under the 200-day. Morning, Sherry. Sherry, by the way, if you want to watch a good channel, Jason on TrendSpider is a good channel. Yeah, you know, here's the thing, and I'm going to switch over to, I was just looking at my portfolio. Meta is just, this is a monster stock. I think you come back to, I continue to try and be patient, but I think you come back to this 154. MPLX, I'll collect the 10, 8, 9, 10%. We have a buy-in there. Merck, let me make sure MPLX shows up actually on the scan. mRNA. Ooh, we have a cross-up mRNA. 168. It's using the 200-day as a support level instead of using it as resistance. Interesting. Microsoft, God, Microsoft is just, it's up again in pre-market. NVIDIA is up again in pre-market. This one has just been, Oxy's up. I mean, there's nothing. Pfizer is down in pre-market. Taiwan Semiconductor, Uber. I mean, they're all down marginally. Cleveland Cliffs is the only one that's down significantly in pre-market. It's down 3%. I'm going to switch over. Morning, bro. Let me pull out my vape, bro. I haven't done a lot of bros. Yeah, Jason runs the TrendSpider channel. Right here. It's the TrendSpider channel. And if you're not subscribed to the TrendSpider channel, subscribe. The actual channel, well, he's live. He's not live every day. I think he's live probably 2 times a week on average. But their channel just, if you use TrendSpider, I mean, I know you guys watch me use TrendSpider all the time. There is so much more to TrendSpider. And again, if you haven't seen it, I did a David Yoakum from TrendSpider and I sat down for an hour, and it's a video on my channel, so you can go and look at it. It's just an overview of essentially what do you get. By the way, this is crazy. I'm just looking at this. The 4-hour algorithm for Cleveland Cliffs on a 1,000 candles, so about 2 years. And excuse me, hold on. If you have my algorithm, just type in Cleveland Cliffs on the 4-hour algorithm and run it, because it makes you 50% versus the asset is up only 16%. So yeah, I think you asked me about Quiver. FLNG. Let's look at FLNG. Flex LNG. Is this natural gas? Let me see. Yeah. If he's been trading it the last 6 months, I mean, it's gone nowhere. It does have a PE of 8. Got no analysis, no insider trading. Seaborne transportation of liquefied natural gas. Yeah. This was I'd question whether he had insider information. It would be interesting because for 1 year, you're up 61%. So if we go back here and we just look, 6 months is what? May. So you're trading about 27. I mean, look at how much how much my algorithm gets you in and out. Could have made much more money getting in and out. Maybe he's gotten algorithm. Okay, we're at 8:30. I'm going to go over here, and we're going to look at SPY. And we're going to look at the 1 minute. $30 days. Ugh. Love doing civic duty, but sometimes, God. I'm watching on a delay, but I can hear it in my living room live. I'm watching on a delay on Coinbase up $2. Oof. They won't. Consumer price index up 0.5 versus 0.4 estimate. Microsoft is down. SPY is coming down. This has a, I think it's morning. Larry? I looked over. I saw your comment about TrendSpider, and then it sucks, Sherry, and I forgot. It's not the TrendSpider sucks. It's that jury duty sucks. So we have a hotter than expected CPI. But the futures are not crazy. 5.6 over 5.5 estimate. But they kind of expected this. I think we're going to fly. I think I might buy TQQ Cube right now. Is it too high? Oh, come on. Boy, those Bollinger Bands are big. And it just shot up. Coming back down. I'm not buying it when it's on top of the Bollinger Bands like that. I'd buy it at 25. Maybe I'll put in a buy at 25. Hold on, I gotta get my laptop if I'm in a trade. Anybody listening to Jason, tell me what he's saying. I think TQQQ comes down to 25. They're still pouring over these numbers on CNBC as to let me log in here. Oh. Please wait while we load. It's definitely putting in some type of, let's see. What's Jason saying?
Good morning, M. Hope you're doing well today. Man, thank you guys all for being here. You guys got up early to hang out. I appreciate it. Nice, daily stock picks. Watching me live while you're live.
I'm way behind him.
Haven't heard anything about you guys and your trades. How are we trading this morning? Are we sitting on the sidelines? Into that number. When you would really anticipate the opposite of that, right? You would anticipate a hotter CPI print shouldn't make the markets move higher.
It shouldn't. That's the problem that I'm having. Where are we going? Bum bum bum. Yeah, I bought Boeing yesterday, Larry. I said it. I don't think I'm going to trade this one. I don't trust that this TQQQ isn't going to be back around 23 at some point today. I think this CPI print is... let's talk about CPI. I'll talk about it on the thing. Hotter than expected, which should bring the market down. If it doesn't, we're in a bull market. I mean, that's essentially my take of this. If we didn't get taken down from a hotter than expected CPI data, then the market's got, I mean, the Dow Jones is up 121 points. NASDAQ is up 50. And yeah, remember I said I think TQQQ was coming down to 25? It's trading at 25.08. I hope that's right. I hope my Active Trader Pro didn't just freeze. Let me quit Active Trader Pro. I have a feeling it froze. I'll show you what I'm looking at on TrendSpider is FLNG, which is the one that Brian said, hey, most traded by congressmen. I believe it's most traded by congressmen because, I mean, shit, those guys, they trade a bunch on insider information. Let me see. Can I look at, I want to look at, yeah, there we go. Oh, why can't I do this? Let me sign in here. I'm looking for my list of shippers. Let me see. EGLE is going to be in there. So I know that's going to be. Cleveland Cliffs. Let's look at this one. I'm looking at you guys in the private Facebook group will ask, identify this text from a while ago. Final thought. I bought 2 more shares of Zim when it dipped down below $71 earlier this week. I also bought 15 shares of ELE earlier this week. I bought 40 shares of TGH right before it zoomed up, 20 shares of DAC, 40 shares of GSL, 100 shares of INSW, and 100 shares of OSG. Yeah, identify whose tweet that was that I... so per my last text, Zim is a buy in January. I texted you about these most recently. DAC, GSL, EGLE, INSW, TGH, and OSH. GOGL. That's the one I was thinking of yesterday, is GOGL. That's the one I was thinking of yesterday. That's the one where I made like a couple $1,000 last year. Day trading GOGL based around a dividend. Yeah, I definitely froze. Active Trader Pro, man. Active Trader Pro does not like OBS. It just does not. I mean, outside of running OBS and even when I was running just GarageBand. Morning, Justin. Okay. I'm going to... boom, boom, boom. We're going to put this at the top because I'm going to go down. Yeah, I definitely froze. There we go. It's moving now. I was in the middle of my scans. I'll bring it back here to complete the scans. I was going down my own personal portfolio to try and see which ones we had a cross up on. You know, and this makes me wonder why I'm not seeing. I need to update this scanner. Let me write down. Update scanner for last 2 candles. Let me see if I can add a parameter here. I'm going to stop this. Add parameter here. Condition. No. Nope. Don't want that one. I will figure it out. Let's see. I guess in my brokerage holding it should come up with MPLX. Nope. But yet MPLX, let me just make sure. Did it have it on yesterday's morning candle? Strategy tester. Run. No, it had it on the afternoon candle. So why wouldn't that come up? I'll figure that out. Goldman is tanking. Let me go look. Goldman Sachs. I have the bid at 368. The ask at 375. The candle, it's a 5-minute candle. High was 375, low 374. This doesn't get a lot of pre-market, Larry. So my guess is Goldman Sachs, whatever data point you're looking at, is probably just a little whacked. Sometimes that happens. CHRD got a cross up. I think that's right before earnings. Boyle was tanking last time I looked at it. CHRD might cross up above the 200-day here. You have that nice button hook at the bottom. Oil's down. Pre-market, it is down at 141.32. I believe Tom bought it here at 129. And he'd tell us that today, that he bought it at 129. But, I'll look at Boyle. I'll look at it for you guys because I'm not sure. Remember, I said Boyle goes to $2. I mean, that's my base case is $2. It's at $6, I believe, right now. But let's see. It was up yesterday slightly. It's up this morning at 633, so it's up about 5%. But yesterday it got all the way up to 670, and it just tanked. I mean, that was pre-market. It got to 670, and it just tanked down to $6. If you're gung-ho on trading Boyle, my best guess of the pivot point is $6 at this point. And I was actually thinking about that this morning. Under 6, buy it. Over 6, sell it. UDOW got a cross up on our levered ETFs. Oh, you know what I have to put? TRK. I have to put this in our levered ETFs. Yes. So if you're subscribed to my levered ETFs on TrendSpider, you just got an update. Yeah, Justin, I could be wrong about the $6, but my best guess right now is if you're pushed into it, I'll look at it. I've got it on my notes. I think we're gonna have a long freaking podcast today, but I've got it on there. I'm gonna do some quick ones. This is my personal watch list that I don't share with anybody. Fastly. This has been a monster right into earnings. I'm going to put it in there because you know what? Here, you want the link? I'll send it to you. 6 symbols skipped. We will, hold on one second. Levered ETFs. I'll copy. I'm not on Discord. There is update. There is, you just click on that link, Justin, and just hit subscribe. And then in your upper right-hand corner, you'll see, choose the list that you want to look at. And I should be up there. If you need the others, just let me know. I think they're in the private Facebook group as well. But if you want to just subscribe to it. It's nice and easy. And then you can basically go in there and run whatever you want. McD. McDonald's crossed up. Let's see. We'll go to ARC Holdings. Fastly's going to be in that one. Net. Cloud stocks are just on a tear. Checkpoint. I'm going to be right back, and I will start recording my podcast. Honeywell, I like. It's going to use that 200-day as its support level, in my guess. GILD, which is a satellite network, that's too tiny for me. I don't like that one. Wow. No. Xerox. Let's go into the Dow 30. If you guys don't know weekly stock picks who picked Boeing, his entire is that going to break the 200-day? I'm not going to do it. I just don't like Walgreens. You asked me about Walgreens versus, but his weekly stock picks, he only does 30 stocks, just the Dow 30. So he'll pick a Dow 30. NASDAQ, Lulu. Lulu under 300 was the buy. I think Lulu comes back, to be honest with you. It's in this channel. It's down at the bottom of that ascending triangle. CSGP. Don't like that one. Honeywell, we already went over. Walgreens, we went over. That's the NASDAQ. Let's do the S&P. And then I'm going to go and grab my water bottle. Oracle, podcast favorite. The only other company that is retiring stock faster than Apple. Duke Energy on the downward slide, using that 200-day. I'm going to put this one in as a utility, man. Honeywell. Okay, let's look at the energy sector right now. And by the way, if you subscribe to TrendSpider, you can do all this. You don't need me. I'm going to go over how to use my podcast, one of these things. Okay, let's move over to Strategy Tester. We'll go to the 4-hour. And you can see 141.32. Yeah. The levered ETFs. I'll be right back. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I want to check our core portfolio again because I did notice some of these were I like the stock. Goldman Sachs. Let's look at Goldman Sachs. This has just been a monster. I mean, 351, you're at 374. And just full disclosure, back here in October, I was screaming by Goldman. I did not, dummy, but you're coming up on your ex-dividend date. Johnson & Johnson, I may take this one out of our core portfolio just because I want to limit it to a certain amount of stocks, and I don't think it. You know what? I'm going to take it out. Nobody's going to miss it. I own a little bit of it, but I'm going to take it out. It just hovers around that 52-week, the 200-day, and it'll make you money over a long haul, but you know what? I might just add in XLV. I think that's the healthcare one. Coke reported earnings. They're up almost 0.5%. I continue to say buy it under 60, sell it over 60. I mean, it's just capitulating here around 60. Nobody needs me, Larry. Nobody needs me. Meta. This one's just been... I want to buy it again. I'm dying to buy it again. I just don't want to jump in too much. MPL, that's what it is. So it does it on today's candles. MRK. Merck is a good company. I mean, 105, you're at 109 right now. Good move. mRNA, we talked about. That just got the cross up. Microsoft is just a monster. Microsoft's got gaps, by the way. 257. This one was covered. You have 266 to 263. That's going to be a bit of a mess. Let me see, is there a short Microsoft ETF? There is, I think. Bear, MSFD. I'm going to put that in. MSFD. Short Microsoft ETF. Guidance. Yeah. I think there's other ones. Let me see. Short Microsoft ETF. I thought I would. 3 times short. Oh, but that's on the London Stock Exchange, not on the U.S. Let's see. Bull, XLK. No. Okay, I think we're going to stick with that. I do like that one. Oxy is up 1%. Buy in there. PanW, I mean, cybersecurity stocks, when they dip like this, buy. Just buy. I think it's coming back down to that 200-day, though. Pepsi, under 170. This gap worries me, but God, you're not... Just buy and hold that one. QCLN, we got the buy-in here. There's a gap up here, about 44. God, it's putting in that. Oh, that's Pfizer. I was going to say QCLN has been on a run. Qualcomm, out. Roblox. I'm going to start a scanner that says, what is Ruby? Is that a stock? Rubius Therapeutics. So, Brian, go to FinViz and type in Ruby, and then you can go down. You can see all of the news stories and stuff, but scroll down to the bottom and you'll see a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company. And you can see the only recent, April 21st, the director bought 4 million shares. It's only worth 43,000. Yeah, it's trading at 19 cents. It's a biopharmaceutical company, so until they get some type of staging. Boy, did the futures really go down that much? Snowflake, SPG, Target at 172. If you didn't buy this at the 143 mark, you're out of your freaking mind. Your boy here did. Tesla is down. Tesla's getting that button hook. Let me see. Tesla short ETF. 3 times Tesla short. This is a London Stock Exchange, I believe. Yes. These are the Teslas. TSLL, TSLS is the short. I'm looking to see if they only have the bear one. Oh, I guess TSLL is bull 1.5, but TSLS. TSLS ETF. Then you got your Amazon, Googles, Apples. This is your Treasury bills, international market cap. This is your S&P. We have these in our. I don't have these in our levered ETFs, but oh well. Because Tesla's getting that button hook. Now, the 200-day is 186, but you do have this gap at 155. So if you want to put in a stop. Why am I doing this? TSM. This one's just been floundering. I mean, it's got this gap here, 82 to 84. That was the earnings gap. I don't know that you're necessarily coming down there, but I ain't buying it before it gets there. Uber is on its way down to fill probably this gap at 26. We'll wait for there. UNH almost got to 500. Not quite at 500. VOO is one that we haven't had an entry in for quite a while. I've been waiting to put some money into that. WMT, Walmart, we had a buy-in at 143. XLY, this is the consumer discretionary. I've said this, I may change out in the core portfolio. What I'd like you to do, by the way, with all of these X's, with the sector discretionary funds, is find the hot hand every year. XOM, boy, they just crossed up, and you hit your ex-dividend date yesterday. Show. TSLQ. Yeah, TSLQ. What is TSLQ? Let's see. I think it's another. It's a bear, but it's just the same bear as TSLS. I don't think it's levered. Let's see. Single stock ETFs. bear. TSLQ. They have a bull. They don't have a TS. I'll put TSLS or TSLQ. Okay, let's go into TQQQ. I almost bought TQQQ, by the way, last night, thinking today's CPI would be maybe a good buy. But obviously, I'm on Active Trader Pro just looking, but I haven't moved you guys over there. Active Trader Pro. And I think when I share it, it hates it, but you can see it's just got no confirmation whatsoever. It is at 24.77. I do think, honest to God, I think we come back today. Just, again, nobody knows, but it's just a guess. I just have this feeling that this is like last week, where Tuesday we started in the red, and you come back. I mean, that's not 5.6 versus 5.5 expected with the new calculation. It's not horrible. It's not horrible at all. I mean, TQQQ's down less than 1%. So it's an interesting one. Okay, I'm going to start my podcast. Safari View, SPY. I'm going to get back to SPY. We'll look at SPY and we'll look at TQQ. I think I do two charts side by side. Because why can't I look at? Oh, two charts. I guess why is it one symbol? Do I have to be out of the strategy tester? Multi-symbol view. What am I doing here? Oof. Whoa. That's new. Huh. I guess I can change the time frame. Okay, we'll go down here. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of red on the core portfolio, which typically means we're going to be down a little bit. Okay, let me start this. Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 14th, and you know what that means. Kiss your elbow. It's Valentine's Day, and I am getting texts from all the lovely people. I got a text from my friend. What you gonna do for your bitches tomorrow? And by bitches, she meant my two little puppies who will get completely spoiled today. I did get a couple messages. One from Australia, mate, or New Zealand. I don't know. He called me mate, so could be anywhere from down under. I will respond to you guys after I do the podcast. So, and I know I've got a couple of people who signed up for TrendSpider. If you are new, if you are just listening, first off on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you're subscribed. I'm on here every day live, usually between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I'll log in. So hit the alerts if you want to watch. We just look at TrendSpider and we look at some symbols to buy. I have an algorithm. If you subscribe to TrendSpider using the link below and the code DSP25, you'll get 25% off TrendSpider. Get a yearly subscription. You do need back testing, so you need the middle elite level of service to use my algorithm or any algorithm. We've got a couple of them. I've got a personal 4-hour one that is proprietary that I will share with you if you subscribe to TrendSpider. We also have a 65-minute algorithm, which gets you in and out based on the 8-day EMA. If you want to see more about that, just watch the video in my YouTube that is entitled TrendSpider. Myself and David Yoakum from TrendSpider. We sat down for an hour. We go over setting up that actual algorithm to backtest. It is a great algorithm, but happy Valentine's Day. CPI, we were on live going over CPI. It came out hotter than expected. We should expect this market to absolutely crash. It's gone down, hasn't crashed, but it's gone down. And you know what? That just means buying opportunity. Here's SPY up on the screen. And I talked about how we started to see the button hook that I always see in my algorithm. Again, here, 383 was the buy-in on December 29th. We've been in an upward trend the whole time. You have gotten at least 10% out of this run on SPY. Now, we don't always buy SPY, but we look at SPY and we look at the Qs to see exactly where this thing is going. So if you look at this button hook, boom, I think we're heading back down towards 400 on SPY, but we're still over the 9-day. That 9-day EMA, which is the green line that you see right here, we're over that. That's validation. So until we get down below that, I'm less likely to actually say, hey, we're going to go down absolutely. I like this volume right here, this volume shelf right about 397. That's where the majority of people back from November, where we saw a little beginning of a spike, that's where most people are holding. If we move this to the recent spike of December 13th, you can see many more people are down here holding at 380. A lot of people seem to be using my algorithm to actually bump this one up. But this is where you're seeing at 380 level. So right down here, you can see that line right at 380. That's going to be a support. The 200-day is going to be the first support, but all of these volume shelves in between are going to be support. So if we go to the Qs, just the triple Qs, and you can use this chart to try and trade your TQQQ and your SQQQ as well, because they are both based on this. So here you can see December 30th, we had a buy-in at 263. You are at 304 right now. Your next volume gap right now, based on that December 13th, is right here at 294. You're at 304. So you do have some move down, but see that green day, that green 9-day, it's in the upward trajectory. It's moving up. You had this golden cross of the 50-day up above the 200-day right here, February 2nd. Your MACD is moving down. The RSI is at 58. The natural progression of this would be to pull back. I wouldn't expect us to go on this QQQQ up to about 320 or so. I wouldn't expect that. You can see there's a gap here that got filled all the way back from September between 302 and 309. We filled it. The next gap up here is at 318, 318 to about 322. But we filled that first one. I wouldn't expect this next one to be filled until probably the next Fed meeting. But until then, we're going to see some choppiness. I was saying this before I got live. In my heart of hearts, I think this is like last week where we started out negative on Tuesday and we wound up positive. There's just a lot of money on the sidelines here. There's a lot of money from tax loss harvesting. I myself have a lot of money from tax loss harvesting sitting out there. So I do think that there's opportunities. Let me go over kind of there was some questions on some shippers during our YouTube live yesterday after I got done recording. Rig is one. I think you need to wait for a pullback on this one. This is our algorithm had you in January 6th at 483. You've almost doubled your money at this point. FRO, and I think it was Brian that even brought this one up. FRO, Frontline. This is another shipper. This is the buy-in was here at 1405. You're at 17. There are gaps all over the place on this one. This one's just a messy chart, but you can see the ascending triangle that we've broken out of. This is a hugely moving stock. Zim is another shipping company that we trade all the time. You can see it was trying to get up to cover this gap up to 25. Didn't quite make it. Lost its sense of direction on a shipping company. That's a pun. Just so you know. March 7th is their earnings, but it's been just a horrible stock to actually be in. If you're trading it, fantastic. SBLK is one that has an enormous dividend. This one you've been in since January 9th at $20.20. It's a nice 10% move. The biggest thing is the dividend. So if you hold on to this one, you can wait till earnings. Shippers have their, they can name their price at this point. It's back to July of last year. You can see on all these charts, January 9th, $50.61. You're at $57.81. Big move, EGLE. And their earnings are coming up on March 2nd, my mother's birthday. GOGL is one that I have traded for the dividend in the past, the special dividends. Their earnings are coming up February 15th, so tomorrow. This one we've been in since January 10th at $8.60. You're at $9.71. You've covered this gap that went to $9.50. Your next gap up is between 10.07 and 10.21, and then there's gaps all the way up. There's nothing down as far as a gap. This one was covered right here at 7.85. So there's no down gaps that you really need to cover. They've already been covered. So again, it's always risky to hold on to this one. If we go into GOGL here, into FinViz, you can see the dividend's 14.3%. A lot of these you just don't hold on to. You don't trade, you hold them because of the dividend. Dividend X date, it was right after earnings. They're going to announce it, probably be right after earnings. You're just going to have to hold on to it for the dividend. But most likely based on shippers being able to name their price, this one probably has a pretty good chance of being good. I listen to, now your boy walks about 10 to 15 miles a day at this point. I don't want to say 15 because 15 is like one day. But it's usually about 8. I think yesterday it was about 11. So I do listen to a lot of podcasts. And one podcast that I listen to is the All In podcast. And this week's episode in particular, Chamath Palihapitiya, I don't know how to say his last name, but he is a founder of Facebook who took them public, wound up becoming a billionaire, has been a scammer galore as far as SPACs a couple of years ago. So he can't do CNBC anymore. He's kind of hated by the public, but he's on this podcast. There are 4 best friends. It is a fantastic podcast. It provides such insight into what billionaires kind of think, what these guys who are all entrepreneurs. And they went into Google versus Microsoft. And it's an interesting take because if I look at, I'm going to expand this up a little bit. I'm in our core portfolio. And for Google, we trade GOOG because over the past year, that has outperformed GOOGL. I think GOOGL in the short term might be outperforming, but I'll do a little digging afterwards. You can see Google, our algorithm has you out with a 7% gain here. It is below the 200-day. I continue to say I bought at 99. I may have timed it too early, but I think 95 is probably the pivot point here. Do they have more down to go? Maybe. I mean, this is just, if you look at a weekly chart of this one, Google is on its 200-day. The last time it touched its 200-day was March 23rd, COVID. So, I think this one in particular, you look at the chart and you say, where do I want to make entry? Now, here's the difference. Microsoft has been on a tear of recent. We're not out of Microsoft yet. The buy-in was on January 11th at 231. You're at 271. There are gaps all the way down. And so if you think that this one has run a little too much, kind of like I do, there's a short ETF, msft, which stands for Microsoft down. It's a 1.5, it's a 1 down bear. This one just got you out. The RSI is down at 31. The MACD is as low as it can go. I think that Microsoft, this one doesn't have a lot of data and it's choppy as F, but it's brand new. It's a short ETF. But if you think Microsoft's going to go down, this stock's going to go up. It's not traded in high volume. There's not a lot of trend here. There's not a lot of things that I can read on a chart. But if you think Microsoft is going to go down, then this is the one to actually buy. Here's what All In was saying, and it was brilliant. Google's look at AI last week went horribly wrong. They lost $100 billion worth of market cap. Microsoft, in turn, gave $10 billion to ChatGPT, and Microsoft wound up gaining something like $400 or $500 million, or I'm sorry, 40 billion, 40, 50 billion dollars in market cap. So they've moved up to a $2 trillion company, blah, 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 whole thing. Their ex-dividend date is coming up on February 15th today. You can expect this one to get a little ding down. It's not a big dividend. I think it's about one point something. It is exactly 1%. The PE is 30. It is super expensive. Their CEO had guided on their last earnings call back here on January 24th that it's a tough 2 years and they don't expect to grow significantly. So why is this stock going up? It's hype, complete hype. Is Microsoft taking market share from Google? Here's the deal. When AI is inserted into the kind of search results, it can't viably insert ads, because if you're using AI to present somebody with a result, then how are you inserting ads? So it's cannibalizing Google's actual business, because when you do a Google search, you throw that in. Now, here's what I want you to think. If Microsoft is actually, take your own personal thing, are you changing your default browser right now, which probably 99% of you have Google? Are you changing it to Bing today? Nope. If not, this is hype. And you know what? If not, then for even the next year or the next 2 years, look at Google. GOOG. Again, what's your default browser? Are you using Hotmail or MSN, or are you using Gmail? Just put that into your mind. That's what I want to tell you. And that's the way to look at this, because Google will figure it out. I do think that Google has some operational difficulties. It is what it is. Fidelity, which is Fidelity National, FIS. This one came out with earnings yesterday. I want to say that any reaction in the market is an overreaction. This one moved from 68 up to 74 pre-earnings. It just moved. And you can, if you want to read more about it, I was just looking at it and I said, I kind of think that it's expensive. 43 PE, dividend is 2.85. Yesterday or today, Morgan Stanley upgraded it with a price target of 79. That is after a disappointing earnings. So you can look at the chart, ascending triangle, completely broken. Down here, it's putting in kind of a base at 66, right where it was, right before it started this ascending triangle. If you want to look at a little bit longer, we can look at a weekly on this one. It's got a downward trend. I don't know that necessarily you're looking at a huge move up, but if you want to look at a market reaction that may have been an overreaction, I do think that you look at this top point here, about 80, where a lot of people are kind of holding. The bottom part is 60, so you probably have a 10% down, but you have about a 20 to 30% upside. It's the way I look at this one, just from a chart perspective. Now, again, it's expensive. As we see interest rates move up, this PE is probably going to go down, but forward PE is 10. It's not huge. You can take a look at the earnings per share this year, expected 165%. They're short interest, 9.56 million. They floated, a ton of shares. You're 16% above your 52-week low of 56. You're 41% below your 52-week high of 112. Morgan Stanley just gave them, guys who are smarter than me, look into this way more than I do, moved them from 73 to 79. You can look 75, 70, 63. You're trading at 66. All of the, again, any reaction in the market is an overreaction. I saw this one and I liked it. I got asked yesterday, 5 stocks that I would hold for the next 5 to 10 years. It's an interesting question, because who knows where we're going to be in 5 to 10 years. I likened it to Cisco. If you had asked me that in 2000, Would I hold Cisco for the next 5 to 10 years? Well, Cisco was going to basically build the internet. And I would have said here at 62, absolutely, I'm buying Cisco. That's June 2000. We still haven't gotten up to this range of this stock trading here. And it's been 23 years. So you could always be wrong. You look at General Electric too. This is part of the Nifty 50 back in the 70s. If you were to ask me in the early 2000s, would I think that I would hold this one for 10 years? Well, your boy did, up here at 405. I own this one in September 2000. And I rode it all the way down. And boom, in 2003, when we started to have a bull market, it came right back. And then in 2007, it came right down. And it just hasn't recovered. This is a monthly chart. So take this with a grain of salt, because I don't know where we're going. But if you had to ask me today, where are you putting your money and where are you keeping your money? I think anybody who listens regularly could tell. First place is Apple. I'm recording on an iMac. I've got my MacBook Pro here. I've got my iPhone. I've got my Apple Watch. I've got the services. I've got Apple TVs. I am sucked into the ecosystem. So what am I using? Apple. I'd buy Apple. Large portion of my portfolio is Apple. Second one I would buy is Amazon. And the reason I would buy Amazon, under 100, again, I think anything under 100 for Amazon is good. Amazon right now doesn't have a demand problem. They have a cost problem. In fact, Andy Jassy said he will focus on the struggling grocery business because Walmart has been eating their lunch as far as traffic goes, and they've been able to grow their delivery business, while Amazon's been struggling in that. They just have. Nobody, they need a grocery business in order to attract people to that Prime service, to grow it, blah, blah, blah. And Apple Music is available in Tesla. Good point, John. But yeah, Amazon is the second one. I just believe, you tell me that you haven't ordered something off of Amazon in the last month. If you haven't, don't use this one. Go with a different one because I'm going to give you more than 5. Third one. Microsoft. I just think Satya Nadella is a genius. We talked a little bit on YouTube Live yesterday about how he bought LinkedIn. And when you buy LinkedIn, you know where all the good developers are. You know when somebody is looking for a job. You know what their experience is. You know how they communicate even in private messages. You control all of that data. And you can find the best employees. You can also probably see which one of your employees is looking for a job, which one's looking to leave. And if they are a good employee, you know what? We're going to give you a little bit more. Boom, they stop looking. So you can control all of that. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. Is it illegal? I don't know. I haven't read the user policy. But if I were Microsoft, it's exactly what I'd be doing. What else did he buy? He bought GitHub to get all of his developers, a tool. What did he do? He put $10 billion into ChatGPT. Well, you know what ChatGPT does? It allows you to take 10 developers or 10 coders and allow them to be 100, because you will write all of your code in artificial intelligence, and that's what ChatGPT is good at. So this is the third one that I would do. Your next one, I think you have a choice. And I say this knowing that search is the dominant focus of Google. It's an ad business based on search. So you could buy Google because, again, Gmail, I use Google Search, I use Google Maps. Again, Google in my life, Android is the number 2 platform for phones. They have a ton of data on people, and data is all about ads. So if you don't like Google, the next one I would probably buy is Meta. These guys print money. And from what I talk about with some of my social media folks, this is undervalued because Facebook and Instagram ads are working better than anything. So Meta's one that I would look into as well. So I think that's kind of a choice. But your your fifth one that I do think is a buy and hold. Now, your boy doesn't own this one. I sold it as tax loss harvesting in December, is Tesla. And the reason I say Tesla, there's two things. They have a product day coming up March 1st. And Elon said last night, it's not just a product day for Tesla products. This is basically a guide for the rest of the world on renewable energy. And so Tesla is more than a car company. The valuation is crazy high. From this point, I do think that we come back down here to 146 to 156. There are some pretty large sells in Tesla. And the question is Elon actually selling? It's kind of putting in right around this 200-day between 187 and 200. I do think that this is a stock to hold. The reason is not only do you have a $35,000 Model 3 that was just announced with the tax rebates. So you have all of the demand. It's a 4-month wait. You're back to 2018 demand levels. Just on the Model Y and the Model 3, which are the number one selling cars in California. Not electric cars, number one overall selling cars in California. But you have the Cybertruck coming up, which again, number 1 and 2 selling cars in California. The number 1 pickup market in the U.S. is California. And you've got the Tesla Semi, which Pepsi has rolled out, which they're seeing a ton more come out. So you have the Semi. You have a Mega Pack, which is basically going to utilities and saying, you know what? We can collect solar energy and you can store it in batteries. And then, so when you have your peak, like in the summertime, if you have done any research on the electrical grid, what part of the reason you have these quote unquote brownouts is because they have to level off the grid. Now, the grid is incredibly insufficient. And the delivery that we have of energy in this company is incredibly inefficient. The most efficient use of energy is localized energy. So if you were able to put solar panels on your roof and have a battery pack in your garage, you'd never lose power because you'd always have power because you're covered by the batteries. And the grid would just be a backup. If, for instance, we have a 3-week storm where your solar panels are broken and you can't recharge your batteries. Well, you recharge them at night when the grid is down, and low, and they need to send out energy. Because if you know anything about grids, sometimes they actually at night, if there's a localized portion of the grid that is down, they have to run electricity through it. So they wind up losing electricity. I think the last time I read something on this, we lose 40% of the energy we create through the grid. And that just means, those wires that you see up there, energy seeps out of that. Sometimes delivering you energy over long spans, you lose energy. So there's, I'm going to put in one honorable mention. And the honorable mention for me is Uber. Their last earnings were so good. And you can see the run up after the earnings. They've pulled back. There's a gap here between 31 and there's a gap here at 26. I think the gap at 26 gets filled. I will probably buy it at 26. I think this one has been shown that if you buy in the 20s, you can wait to sell it in the 30s. These guys are going to make money. This is going to be a good business. Self-driving is where they probably want to go because then they'll make a ton of money. But the fact that they have Uber Freight, Uber Eats, Uber Delivers, all of that stuff, I think it's just a good business to be in. So again, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, you have your choice of Google or Meta, Tesla, and honorable mention Uber. So if you want to know where to put your money, think about those. And I say that biasly. I am a tech investor. I have traditionally over this bull run invested in tech. Is the next 10 years bull run, is that based on tech? Is that based on the consumer? Is it based on oil, energy? Energy has underperformed. You can look at the XLE, which is, we'll take a look at the monthly of the XLE. You'll see how it has underperformed over the past 10 years. Just look at this monthly. I mean, this is 2016. We'll go to the peak here, 2018. And then you go 2 years down to 2020. I mean, just look at that slide. You're back to where you were in 2014. If you had bought in 2014, you basically just did a full-on slide down to 2020. And then from 2020 until 2023, you've come back up. So there is no upward trajectory in energy whatsoever. You can see plain as day. XLE, this goes back to 1999. And it's just been a bear. Do you see an upward trajectory from here? Very well, maybe. Very well, maybe. Palantir, I said it yesterday, and I wish I would have bought some yesterday, but I said it yesterday. Palantir was kind of poised to make a good earnings. Well, they announced their first positive earnings. First EBITDA positive, and they announced that they will probably be EBITDA positive this year. They were up 20% in pre-market. They have since come down. They closed at 859. They're trading right now at 840. It's down from where it opened, and it's come down based on the CPI data. And we opened up. It looks like the Dow Jones is down about 1%, NASDAQ is down about 1%, and S&P is down about 1% as well. So it's down, but Palantir is down. I think most of my stocks are down, it looks like. MPLX is up, which we'll talk about. We had a cross up on that one. Walmart is up. Those are the only, and PanW and Oxy and NVIDIA. They're starting to crawl up. But everything seems to be, Apple's down 1.53%. So let's talk about Coke. I said get into Coke under 60. They announced earnings, great earnings. You had a buy-in yesterday at 60.43, or I'm sorry, this morning at yesterday afternoon 60.43, $60.43 was the buy-in on the algorithm. Now the algorithm doesn't perform really well over 2 years, 1,000 candles, and the reason I say just buy and hold this one. I personally have held this one probably since about 2010, 2011, somewhere in that neighborhood. The performance chart, 5% on the algorithm. It gets you in and out 27 times. You win 37% of the time. Buying and holding gets you 20%. The reason I say just buy and hold this one, anything under 60 in my mind is absolutely a buy. You do have this gap between 56.15 and 56.55 in the algorithm. Again, this is 4-hour chart, so the gap is there. It's clearly holding on to this 200-day at $60. Just buy it and hold it. Honest to God, your boy loves cola, so I own both Coke and Pepsi. Marriott hotels beat on the top and the bottom. Their stock, it opened at 175. It's down to 173. They made $1.96 per share. Last quarter was $1.69. So they've beaten the past 2 quarters on this quarter. Their ex-dividend date is coming up February 23rd. You can read more about it on FinViz, but Marriott's dividend is 0.92. There were a couple of downgrades, 166 to the average price target is 173, it looks like. If we go to the insider sales, you can see they're selling at about 160 of recent times. And it looks like it's $1-2 million, but $1 to $2 million worth of stock is not a lot to these guys. It's trading at 174, and again, the price target is 173. So I think it's just average. Again, it's average. Nothing huge. Rohan asked me on the private Facebook group. If you're not part of the private Facebook group, down below there's a link tree, and you can look for the Facebook logo that is right up top. Just go there. It takes you right to the Facebook group. Answer. My name is Gary. It is not Jim Cramer. So you can just answer who hosts this, and you'll get right in. Plain and simple. Snowflake is a stock that I personally own. We got the buy-in here at 135 on January 10th. Their earnings are coming up on March 1st. This is a roll of the dice. This company is not making money, and they will not make money in a very long time. This is a software company. Their forward PE is 316. It is an enormous roll of the dice that they will continue to grow their business. That's plain and simple what you're doing here. My personal opinion, I think you buy anywhere between 130 and 140, and I think you just hold on for the ride. Could you go down to 80? Absolutely. If these guys somehow say that we've got an enormous loss and we're just not getting the contracts that we thought we would, you could go down to 120. 120 was where we were in June of last year. You didn't make it back there even in October. So I think you've put in the bottom here at about 120, but that's with unforeseen circumstances. If for some reason they come back with something bad, you see that. There's a gap up here between 245 and 259. I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. Not anytime this year. In my mind, I think you trade between 130 and 180 this year. I don't think that you get back to the 200s. Just a guess. It's actually crawling into the positive right now. Snowflake is. Some folks wanted me to go over Boyle. Boyle is up. Let me just see. Boyle is up 4.61% today. It's trading at $6.35. You can see here, and you know, I think it was Justin brought it up, but you can see we're clearly seeing an increase in volume. Look at that volume increase right there. And again, this is on the 4-hour chart time frame. This one got you in at 14. I think it got you right out. Let me see. No, you know what? Here, this one. So, and it's an interesting one to look at because you can clearly see the interest in volume. People are trying to time this, and they're trying to time this, and they're saying it's got to get back up to that 200-day. You've got steps of gaps all the way down here. This 1403, you're still in as far as the algorithm can see. You're still in this. And the reason, let me expand this one up, that MACD is still over the strike line. So that MACD is still moving up while the price is moving down. So again, it's moving average, convergence, divergence. This can happen. This is a 4-hour time frame. The 9-day is clearly putting in some type of bottom. That volume is kind of leveling off. The RSI right now is at 41. It's coming off at 24. But you're just putting in this. I told Justin, I told everybody on YouTube Live, my assumption, and this is just a guess, nobody knows, is that if you can buy this under 6, at some point you can sell it over 6. If I look at a longer time frame of this one, and maybe we still have it. Yes, we still have it. Here is the channel that I see this moving in. And this is a weekly chart, and it's a long-term channel. You can clearly see this goes back to 2017. This is a decaying asset. We traded in the hype trade up here in June and July. We traded up in the 104s. This was when natural gas, Europe was in the midst of the Ukraine situation where the Nord Stream pipeline was, in question, and Putin was shutting it down. You've seen this slide all the way down to $6. This is a decaying asset, so it will not make you money. This is not an investment. This is a trading tool. And so you're trading on futures. The reason why I say this is going to go down to $2 is just look at that. At some point in time, you get to this $2.62. So you can clearly see the rise in volume with the fall in price. That means get out. So where do you want to be in? Right now, it still has the momentum, KOLD. And if we go to a weekly chart, I'll show you KOLD has the momentum. Even on, you're not out of this one. This one, the algorithm got you in December 19th at 1740, and you got steps all the way up. And you're putting in this capitulation right here at about $60. If we go to the weekly on KOLD, I think I've still got this written. Yeah. See, you've come out. Again, it's a decaying asset. So you're always going to have these channels moving down. The question is, when do you time it? Will you time it when it comes down to the bottom here? So that's why I say if I were to go to a weekly of, remember the weekly of Boyle, it's down at the bottom in the bottom channel. So I think you can start to move it up. I hate to see people lose money. So I do, and the way these things continue, by the way, to trade is you can see right here, they just trade reverse split 1 for 5. Reverse split 1 for 4. So they just reverse split to increase the actual share price so that they can stay listed. That's all they do. And then people continue to sell it. Let's talk Tesla. Tesla is up. It's up almost 2%. The market has come back. Yeah. The market has come back. I have to restart Active Trader Pro real quick. But the market has come back. Tesla is up 1.5%. 1.5%. We were down below 190 or at 197. I've talked about this one. I think Elon might be selling. There's some downward pressure. If you want to trade the short on this one, and if you think it's run and you want to take this one into your own hands, TSLS is a one-time bear. And as the price of Tesla goes down, this one will go up. You had a buy-in here on our algorithm February 7th. So 7 days ago at 29.54. You're at 28.49. You're still in because that MACD obviously is still moving up. You've got that one moving in that direction. Let me just log into Active Trader Pro real quick. And so you've got this one moving up. Another short ETF that you could use to trade it is TSLQ. TSLS and TSLQ. Either one. They're both one times. They're not levered, but it's either one. You had February 7th, the same, 47.72. You're at 46.03. So TSLS or TSLQ. Either one. Either one. Let me look at it looks like the Dow Jones is down 0.35. The NASDAQ is down 0.11. The S&P is down 0.1. So Tesla is an outlier. Taiwan Semiconductor up 1%. Uber up 1%. There's no way this NASDAQ can be down with these numbers, but maybe my Active Trader Pro is just behind. Microsoft is up 65 cents. Wow. So yes, TSLQ, Let's look at some scans. And what have we had cross-ups on? I said MPLX, which is up 0.67%. You had a buy at 34.58. You're trading at 34.66. You are past your ex-dividend date. You are past your earnings date. MPLX right now has a 9% yield on their dividend. You are up 5% year to date. For 1 year, you're up 2.85%. It's just a good company that gives money back. There is some tax implications on this dividend. Just understand that. I am not going to go into it. I'm not going to answer it because your boy doesn't understand it. I just know I get an email from Fidelity who handles everything for me. And even though I hold it in my IRA, there are some taxes that I need to pay. mRNA, and I probably shouldn't hold it, by the way. I should probably just get Devin. mRNA had a cross up. 168.73. You're at 172. This move is fairly strong. And it's fairly, obvious that it's putting in. The 50-day is still moving down. Just be aware the 50-day is moving down. This is 100% a hype trade. Right now, this company is a COVID-only company, and no government is buying the COVID vaccine anymore. It is still covered under insurance, but no government is buying it. So I don't know what type of earnings, I don't know what type of guidance these guys put in. I don't know what type of hype they put in. The other thing I will tell you is if, even in TrendSpider, you can look at this, take a look at this. Their PE is 6. Their forward PE is 58. It's not crazy expensive. It's just semi-expensive. Most of the price targets, the average price target is $233. I want you to take a look at these Insider. There's not one buy. And they're all selling. They're all selling at different price points. Ben Stefan, who is the CEO, has sold somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion of shares over the last year. So I don't know that I'm 100% fan of this one. I will say it's in our core portfolio. And the reason it's in our core portfolio is not because it's a long-term buy and hold, but because it's been a fantastic trade. Another one that came up in the energy sector, CHRD. Cord Energy, which came in with a buy at 141.32. You're trading at 139. Their earnings are coming up February 22nd. If you've been paying attention to any of the earnings, energy sector has been good. This one might come up as a good pop on earnings. They may raise the dividend. They may announce a special dividend. If you go and look at this one, their dividend yield is 3.54. Now, if I go just into Google and I type in CHRD dividend, if I can type, and I just go and I look at the NASDAQ site, I can see the yield for the year is 10.38%. Well, why? They have special dividends. In July, they had a $15 special dividend. And in November, they just pay dividends based on earnings. I would expect some type of, last year they gave $14.68 a dividend. So PE ratio is 2.29. You can see it here in Cord Energy. You can see their PE here is 4. Their average price target is 184, and they're trading at 140. Earnings, energy company, I think it might be good. Another of our levered ETFs crossed up, UDOW. This is the Dow in an upward. So if you believe that the Dow is going upward, it's an ultra pro, so it's 3 times levered. 6162. Ironically, the last one that got you in at January 26th got you out with a loss, but you could have gotten out with a gain. 6162. If you think we're going up, bet on this one. If you think we're going down, I wouldn't use a triple levered ETF. I would wait for confirmation. Right now, the up one has the confirmation. One other one that I got to cross up here in my own personal, which is a risky one, is Fastly. This is a software company. I believe it is a Cathy Wood's ARK fund. They're not making money. Year to date, they're up 51%. Their average target price is $10.45. They're trading at $12.42. So you can see the lead one, February 14th, there's a Motley Fool article. That will give you all the information that you need to determine if you want to buy this one. These guys are selling at around 10. All of the insiders in November, December, and January, they've sold between $8 and $10. Again, the cross-up was at $12.61. You moved yesterday. There was some big news yesterday. They gapped them up. I don't know what it was, but $12.61. Did they announce something? Let me see. Yeah. Why fast? Motley Fool article. Just go and look at it. Let me see. Now you got me intrigued. Why it moved up so much. A rare double upgrade has the market feeling good about the edge computing company's upcoming quarterly. So, any reaction in the market is an overreaction. They could be positive. This could be Palantir kind of thing where it becomes positive. A mainstay, McDonald's, had a cross up. McDonald's is just, God, I love McDonald's. 266.23. The algorithm makes you 14%. Buying and holding this one makes you 24%. This is over 2 years. It's a great stock. They just continue to print money. These guys operationally just make it easy. And there's a great with Michael Keaton on Netflix about the founding of McDonald's and how it went. It's an interesting movie, not very positive, but interesting. Honeywell, which I like. It's come down to the 200-day at 203. You got a gap here between 189 and 191, which might get filled. You can clearly see it's moving down. The dividend X date is coming up on February 23rd. Honeywell, HON, the dividend yield is 2.03%. So, again, a cross-up. Lululemon, I said buy this one under $300 when the earnings came out, and it crashed. You're in ascending wedge right now, 317. There have been 3 other trades that all got out for losses in the past month. This is 317. It is clearly putting in some type of capitulation between 300 and 320. 317 puts it in an upward wedge. You've got a gap up here between 348 and 374. Their last earnings were super disappointing with bad guidance. So I don't know that I'd necessarily expect this one to move other than on some type of news. Because they put out poor guidance. Oracle, which is a podcast favorite, which I do not have in our core portfolio. I probably should because I've been yelling at people to buy this one around 60. This is the one stock that actually, when they buy back stock, they retire it And it's the second largest retirement of stock. You know what the first is? Apple. When they buy back stock, they just retire it. Most companies buy back stock. They hold the stock. They can reissue the stock in form of options, executive pay, blah, blah, blah. Oracle actually retires it. So that's why you're seeing it just move higher and higher and higher. Plus, a well-run business. Their earnings are coming up March 9th. They've already announced their earnings back in December. I wouldn't expect any other catalyst on this one, but you can see it's just moved nicely. The algorithm makes you 18% on this one. Buy and hold makes you 43%. It gets you 26 positions. You win 36% of the time. Your average win is 8.99%. You can see we're just getting out of a 6% win. This 26% win from October to December. I mean, I probably would still be holding on, to be honest with you. I use the algorithm as just guidance. You have some gaps here that haven't been filled. Just not too worried about it. 89 seems high. If we look at the 52-week range and we go to Oracle here, it is 2% off its 52-week high of 91. The average price target is 93. So you're getting up there. But I wanted to bring it up. I like it. Probably lower. I'd probably like to see it closer down to the 200-day. But you may not have a chance to get it. So if you want it, get it. Duke Energy has come up a lot. So DUK. We've been kind of trading this one. I know I mentioned this one at 101. Got you out with a 1% loss. 105. It's about 1% more. This one has a big dividend, and the ex-dividend date is coming up the 16th. I think it's a fairly good day. It's a utility. 4% dividend. So you're coming up with a 1% payment right here on February 16th. So 2 days from now. That's it. 48 minutes. I thought it was going to be much longer, and I could probably go more. But I know my dog's looking at me. She's like, I got to poop, Daddy. I got to poop. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. If you made it this far, hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. Also, if you're rating, go up into Spotify, hit that 5-star. The other thing that I'd like you to do, just a gentleman's agreement, if you make it this far, just go to YouTube and subscribe. You'll find a link tree down below with all of the socials. You can email me. You can message me on Instagram. You can join our private Facebook group and join the community that posts back and forth. Anything that you want. It's easy, simple. Just do it. So do it for me. Again, I want you to enjoy your Valentine's Day. So your boy is going to go outside. It's going to be 65 degrees. I'm going hiking. I do think that we wind up green today. I think are we in the green? We're in the green. Yes, we are back to green. Kind of like I thought. I just think there's too much money out there to bring this one down. We'll look at some of our most actives. If you're on YouTube and you ask me about stuff, I will stocks. I will stay on there and go. AMD is way up. Wow. AMD's up $2 at $85. Ford is up 8 cents. The hype train continues. Tesla's over 200 again. Holy crap. Tesla's just, God, that's the stock that just keeps on giving. Microsoft's up 50 cents. Nvidia's up $8. I mean, the chips are flying. Apple is down. Big deal. Bed Bath & Beyond is under $2. The short squeeze is over. Okay. I'm going on YouTube. If you guys have any questions, let me know. See ya. Have a great day. Okay. Share. Oh, no. I don't want that. Cancel. Share. Export song to disk. Boom. We're going to put that one down. Okay. I got to go back up, and there were a bunch of people. You guys with the Tesla shorts, you're out of your freaking mind. Amiri wants me to look at VLON. Is this a hype trade? I think it is. VLON Pharmaceuticals. Hype trade. It's a penny stock. I can guarantee it's making no money. Where do I think it will go? Your guess is as good as mine. It's not making money. There is nobody covering it. There is no news on it. Year to date, it's up 192%. Performance for the year, for 1 year, is down 83%. So you're getting it hyped back up. I can't find any news on it. Let's go to Active Trader Pro. VLON. Amiri, I hope you're still listening because, I mean, what sporting event can we bet on? Because last week I was saying rather than put your money in here, say you got $50 and you want to put it into VLON. I would have just put it on the Chiefs. And last week I was screaming that. But find a sporting event. I mean, it's the same freaking thing. Your company's not making money. They have a float. Let's see. A float of 6.9 million shares. So far today, they've traded 6.2 million. Their average 10-day volume is 31 million. How do you have 6.96 floated? And you're trading 31 million shares. It's market manipulation. And so the rug pull is real. You will probably get up to some type of range. I don't know which. I mean, nobody knows. But if you want to trade it for momentum, right now it's got no momentum. We can look at the momentum train. Right now you're below that 9-day. I wouldn't put any money in until this VWAP starts to turn a little positive. The 9-day starts to turn positive and you start trading above it. You can look at level 2 quoting if you want that too. Yeah, Overtoss, I think Microsoft is better. I think Microsoft is better. You know, at work, everybody uses Microsoft. Overtoss, I take offense. Apple's the best company in the world. Overtoss, here's the thing. It's funny because there was a news channel that asked, did you like Chris Stapleton's version of the national anthem? And I wrote back, no. I wrote back, honest opinion, I could do without it. It wasn't great. I got so much hate from that tweet when they asked for an opinion that I was an asshole, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing with Apple and Microsoft. Somebody asked for your opinion. It's not wrong. It's Apple and Microsoft, man. I have had Android phones in the past. It's been a while. I got my first iPhone in 2013. I had Android up until then. What I didn't like about Android phones is the same thing I don't like about PCs. You buy a PC and the actual viable lifespan is 2 years. You buy an Apple product, meaning my iMac is a 2017 iMac. My MacBook that I just got rid of was a 2015. So the Apple products last a significantly more time. And you even look at iPhones. I mean, they're still selling iPhone 8s, I think. And it's the same operating system that I have in my 13, sorry. Yeah, wow. Amazon's up over 100. Amazon is up over 100. Let's see. Indices check. I'm going to save this. Let me check. Am I beating them today? Let's see. The Dow Jones is flat. NASDAQ is up 0.63. S&P up 0.31. I am up 0.13. So I am underperforming the NASDAQ, outperforming the Dow, and underperforming the S&P. Oh boy. I've got my dogs going nuts. I am going to move you over here. We will look at, for everybody shorting Tesla, I'm throwing the Tesla one. Oh, my dog wants to go outside, I think. I think she's going to stand by the door and cry. And if that's the case, I got to go. I'm going to start to upload this to Anchor, browse. Okay, did I not export this? I could have sworn I did. Oh, why did I put in the iCloud drive? No. Now I got to go into my iCloud drive. Let me find Finder. iCloud drive. Move to trash. What's wrong? What's wrong? You okay? You want to come here? Come on. Okay. There we go. I thought my dog was going to cry to go outside. She's just crying because her sister took over her spot. Ah, man, I was going to go over Mara, too. Shit's flying. Overtoss, I hope I didn't offend you when I said all that, but I am a believer in Apple over Microsoft as far as personal world goes. The business world is still heavy on Microsoft. I think that when I own both stocks. I own significantly more Apple than I do Microsoft, and that's just based on the growth. I think I've actually got the core investment at about the same, but Apple has just grown significantly more than Microsoft. So it's just a matter of I saw somebody on YouTube yesterday or the day before or something put up a poll about whether the planned Apple's headset, the virtual reality headset, will make the iPhone obsolete. I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I've heard, because I can't imagine people walking around with a freaking headset on versus walking around with a phone in their pocket. You're going to walk around with a phone in your pocket. You ain't going to walk around with a headset on. You're going to use a headset at home, but you're not going to walk around with a freaking headset on. And I know I put in, I was listening. I need to go over this too. I was listening to last year's show at this time. I went back and listened to last year's show. And if you want to, it's an interesting. I want excitement. Ominous. I don't want ominous. There we go. I'll put in clue. We'll put in clue. Insert ad. In last year's show, I was going over the invasion of Ukraine, and I said, invest in energy. Invest in energy. So, here's what I would do if and I need to go over this. I need to put this in, how to use this podcast. I wouldn't use it as a day trader. I give you the scans, but I don't know that necessarily those are the best day trading tools. You can use them, certainly, but I think the best best way to use this podcast is really for to look at the long term and to look at, you know, your 4-hour chart, your daily, your weekly, and your monthly. 5-minute charts, if we're day trading and stuff like that, I think that's a little bit riskier. We're going to take this. I'm still sponsored by State Farm. Processing still. Hello again, Dawson. Let's look at Mara. I should have gotten Boeing almost at 220, by the way. Holy crap, look at Mara. And Boyle's coming back down. God, look at Mara. I can't believe I got rid of this one. I think it was in the 8s, or it might have been in the 6s that I got rid of this one. Microsoft is at 274. Um, 214.23. Okay. And I need my notes. I'm gonna pull up my notes. I have to look at updating my scanner. I'm gonna say CPI data. Yeah, Mara's just one of those. It goes with crypto. I mean, honest to God, it goes with crypto. And I think Mara is one. Did they announce earnings or anything? I gotta look. This is okay. We're gonna put in. Rig FRO. Okay. It seems like, you know what's crazy is I seem to get more listens for when I change some stuff. And we're gonna put in heading. There's my neighbor Roxanne and her puppy. I don't know her puppy's name though. I'm shocked I didn't have a garbage truck pull up. Let's see. Is it going to put in? It's not going to put in anything, which means I'm not going to get my freaking picture up there, but oh well. Hopefully you guys liked the 5 stocks to buy and hold. I thought that was a good one. That was a great question from yesterday, too. And I thought about it last night, and I think even on the spot, I answered it perfectly yesterday. Palantir. Palantir's one I sold. Significantly lower price than where it is at right now. Snow, going to X, and we're going to tweet. Oh man, and Anchor is just, Anchor's it must be Twitter. Maybe it's Twitter. But they just don't put, I probably should just put the Spotify one up. Boyle, KOLD. We're going to take those out. And we're going to put in SPY, QQQ, TQQQ, SQQQ. We'll put in tops. Oh, I guess I have to. Okay, we're going to do this. And then we're going to tweet again. Twitter. Boom, 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 boom. And we're going to do tops. Y. SPY. F. SOXL. Lift is up. Lab U. Fastly, I went over. XLF. INTC. Let's see. And then I wanted to pre-market movers. Ruby, AMST. BWV, SRNE. Okay, I'm just going to tweet this out. And then, I should put Mara. We'll just do that. Let's see. Episodes. Huh. Okay. I guess Jason's done with his. No, he's still live.
Even though the consensus was 6.2.
Oh no, he's done. Okay, he's done. Oh, he's on Twitter Space too. Signal Stack. Here. If you're not following, by the way, if you're not following Jason here, follow Jason. He was just live on YouTube. So, by the way, if you weren't watching this closing hour after hours with Karen Feinerman, who is one of my favorite traders, she's just so logical about stuff. I like her a lot. But let's look at our core portfolio. Boeing, if you got in at 215, you're doing well. Cleveland Cliffs, it was under 20. It went down to $19. It opened at 1928. It still doesn't have confirmation above the 9-day, but they announced their earnings yesterday, so they went down. I would expect it to continue to go down. Cost goes up a little bit. Devon Energy, we've got earnings coming up tomorrow with Devon Energy. They're at 64.23. The algorithm had a cross up here at 63.23. We talked about that one yesterday. Goldman Sachs, I think it was somebody. Larry was afraid of Goldman Sachs. Let me see. Was it Justin or Larry? Goldman, yeah. Goldman Sachs is up 1%. It's not going crazy. You got this ascending triangle. It's staying within that ascending triangle. It tried to break out and lost it. I wouldn't expect it to continue it, but Coke, after earnings, they're down slightly. Meta is up 180. I just can't imagine that it stays up there. You can see there's a clear kind of decline here. MPLX, talked about this one. Energy's kind of moving up. 34.58 was the buy-in. It's at $35 now. Merck at 100K. Way to buy in at, I think, at 103 on this one. mRNA is up almost 2%. 168 is the buy-in on this one. I think you can probably, it's at 174. I think you could probably wait to you could put in an order at 170. I think at some point today, you probably hit 170. This is just a hype. Microsoft, I mean, this is going to cross probably 280. NVIDIA is just nuts. Oxy is up 2%. Their earnings are coming up on February 27th. Can't imagine there's going to be bad news there. PanW, cybersecurity is just flying right now. Pepsi, Pfizer, QCLN. This one I went over in the pre-market. I see a little bit of the downturn here, and you can see the MACD's turning down, but it hasn't gotten us out, and it's green candle still. It's just not above the 9-day. Qualcomm is up 1%. Shopify with earnings coming up. Their earnings, I think, are Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday after the bell. Shopify, they're up 3%. Snowflake, we talked about. It's up 3%. Target is down. I'm telling you, you got your chance to buy Target. Even here at 170. Target may seem crazy when you could have got it at 143. But they're getting their inventories in line. The next earnings is a roll of the dice. And February 27th with Target, it's a roll of the dice. Here's what you have to look at. This gap has been covered. This gap up here at 179 has been covered. That's this one. This gap down here has been covered. What gap hasn't been covered? This one, that is all the way to 212. So I think at some point in time, you get back to 212. You're trading above the 200-day. You had your golden cross here, February 1st, when it was trading right at about 166. I can't imagine. I do hold a lot of Target. XLY, which is consumer discretionary, up 1%. This is in my core portfolio. And the reason is I thought consumer discretionary was going to be good this year. I didn't realize from 129 to 160 good. But consumer discretionary I picked as this year the good sector to be in. I bought more. And I want to say around January, around this time, I bought more. Haven't sold it. My goal for this one is to hold it long term, not short term. To hold it long term. I think these gaps up here at 170 tend to get covered. Okay. Any other questions? Remember to hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. It helps out. And if you have any questions, let me know. Here's my notifications. Who liked it, Joe? What is this? Just in, AMST announces GPT-3. Oh, God. AMST. Let's go to the videotape of this is what hype is all about. Let's look at this one. Yeah. You're up 105%. Guys, you want to know how to find hype? Post about a stock. Look at this. Announces GPT-3 powered functionality to its AI. AMST is nothing. Let me see. AMST is, they are not making money. December 28th, 2020, Benchmark Company initiated coverage at $7 price target. They're currently at 62 cents. They are up year to date 254%. There are 2 buys in December and November at 23 and 33 cents. $4,000 and $6,000 from the CEO, Anne-Marie Sastry. This is a company that is not making money. An artificial intelligence-driven platform and course designer provides online products in the U.S. The company uses machine learning to offer a mass customized experience to learners. It serves businesses, universities, and colleges. AMST. And with that hype rally in the morning, all of a sudden you have a press release that took it from 25 cents all the way up to 77 cents today. And you're all of a sudden down because people realize there's nothing. Yeah. So if somebody comes on here and says, well, where do you think AMST is going to trade? I'll tell you 25 cents. Because it's hype. You go from trading. Here's a good... Guys. Your float on AMST. Your float. 20.82 million shares. You're trading today, just today, so far, 76 million shares. So each share has traded 4 times. Each share. It's no. Yeah. Okay. You guys have a great day. I will, if you message me, I will message you back. See you guys.